Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. Today we are going to play Arena PvP, but just give me a minute so that I can finish my setup over here. Evil YouTube. There we go. Sadly sometimes saving the settings is difficult somehow. Sometimes it's easy enough, it's quick enough, sometimes it takes a while. Especially the thumbnail. I don't know why, but sometimes just saving the thumbnail, that alone takes a while. So let's see. Where's the thumbnail I wanted to use? Sorry, I prepared a whole bunch of thumbnails way ahead of time, way back when, and this is what I'm looking for. So there we go. So before we get started, if you can hear me, say yes while we wait for YouTube to save up the thumbnail. Come on, YouTube, you can do it. And a question that a lot of you guys had was multiverse. When will we get the summer seasonal? Sadly, the truth is, I have no idea. The devs are just not talking. Sadly, they're keeping things very, very close to the chest. And I know that some of you guys seems to think that because I'm part of the Creator League, I know everything. Sadly, I don't know. I don't need more than you guys most of the time. Once in a while, they do share some information with us, and even when they do, they tell us not to tell it anyway. So that doesn't really matter. So let me just finish my setup here. Like not too long ago, we had the absolute Dark Knight time capsule. Some people were saying that I was a liar, pants on fire because I did not mention that time capsule ahead of time. Or when I was asked if there was a new time capsule, I said no, and that was the truth at the time because sadly we found out. Even though I'm part of the Creator League, I found out at the same time as you guys when we would get the Dark Knight's time capsule. So there we go. So my settings seems to be good to go. I normally would have a Shadow Lady talking to you while I do all that stuff, but not today. So hello Rayshon, hello Superman. Gray Standards, can you make a Batman first appearance style? I have quite a few Batman videos. I'm pretty sure I made one. I made that in one of those videos, but yeah, I'll try to come up with something. Actually, there's a whole bunch of Batman videos I could come up with. I could decide to do that. Normally, it's something I would wait probably for Batman week, and then I would do a whole bunch of Batman videos. But I could try to do a special Batman day, even if Batman day is way back when not way back, way in the future. We'll see because yeah, there's a handful of Batman videos I would like to make. So yeah, I guess I could add that to the list. So Superman say yes, Rishon say yes, Abisu, hello Multi, hello Abisu, hello Stelly. Yellow is asking, I'm Multiverse, do you think we'll get some cool stuff when the Superman movie releases? I have no idea. As far as I can tell, the stuff we got for Superman Day, this is it. Are we going to get something specifically for when the Superman movie gets released? I have no idea. So sadly, at this point, we're gonna have to wait and see. Stelly says the Shadow Lady not like PvP. Nah, she's just busy tonight. I think she's working tonight, so she can't really be here. And on Sunday, I forget why she couldn't be here on Sunday, but sadly, when we play PvP, it's not a good time for Shadow Lady. So we're fortunate enough. We have her every Friday most of the time. So we'll take what we can. And Abisu, lol, that's too much, but in the cam, that's too much, but in the cam, I don't get that one. Oh, I have to move, it says. Yellow, I hope so. Some very neat things they can make. There's a lot of things they can make, and there's a lot of things they could give us for Superman Day. Sadly, or for the Superman movie, the release of the Superman movie. Sometimes they do give us stuff like way back when we got, I think it was the second season of the Flash TV show. We got the Flash helmet, and we got also the mission in the Flash Museum, like the duo in the Flash Museum. So that was in a roundabout ways for the second season of Flash. Uh, when we got the Peacemaker TV show, they gave us the Peacemaker helmet. So once in a while, they will give us something that matches with the TV shows or movies, but they don't always do that. Aiden says multi-streaming rules, move your cam away. Move my cam away from where? Like this? So enough stalling, I guess. Let's get this party started. People often ask Multiverse, how can we join? Very simple. Go to PvP. We'll start with Ace Chemicals 4v4. And let's start the queue. Now, if the game is rated M, no, rated teen for like sexy and violence. So if sexy Stelly is an issue, I don't know what to tell you guys. Gray is asking best way to get up CR. I'm kind of newbie on this stuff. You have to upgrade your gear. So if you're fairly low level, go see your friend Tempus Siginot in House of Legends. Any chance you get is going to sell you basically the best gear for your character. So that would be one way to be able to improve your gear. I guess you could try to get gear from Booster Gold from the time capsules. Sorry about that. That would be another way to be able to upgrade your gear. There's also the Tempus Reginald gear you can purchase from Doctor Fate. That would be another option. But at the end of the day, you have to you have to upgrade the quality of your gear, and that is what raises your combat rating. Oh, and speaking of 60 Stelly, so here we have Stelly, we have Starfire, Super Starfire, and Tragic Reasons. Yellow, I genuinely never played PvP. It's alright. A lot of people never played it. I don't know why there's a bit of not some lag. Sometimes I get stuck in flying animation for like 2-3 seconds. I'm guessing it's probably the map that's not quite done loading, so sometimes I kind of freezes because of that. And I ended up with sadly half of the team, the Eve, 0. So let's go back and try to help our friend Stelly, I think, who went here. Once run strategy doesn't work, you have to change. So let's see if we can go capture the other node. I guess not. The evil villains, or actually, we're the evil villains. I guess I chose the wrong node. Seems my oh, there's only 3 of us. Well, that explains. So I don't know why there's only 3 of us. Did someone crash? Did someone rage quit? We'll never know.
East control node enabled.
So you can see our friend here is just sniping me from a distance. Sorry guys, I'm not trying to ignore the chat. Just a bit busy right now. So you said that we're waiting for us with some tear gas. So you can see here they're trying not to give us a break. They're trying to overpower us. It's mostly working. Oh. Sadly, we're pretty much done like dinner. Don't know. I don't know why I was frozen. I couldn't use my abilities. Now, as you saw, 1 versus 1, not too big an issue. But at 4 versus 1, that's when the trouble starts.
Match over.
So I don't know why we lost the Superstar Fire. Oh well, doesn't matter. So let's get out of here. And this is a good example. Doesn't matter if you have 11 kill, 21 kill, 2001 kill. This is a team effort. If the team lose, you lose, no matter how well you think you have done. Let me get back to the chat a bit. Sorry guys if I ignored you a bit. Oh, guys, if you can hear me, say yes because I think maybe the Diodo crashed. Oh, Grace Standard say yes, so you can hear me. I got scared a bit. Yellow seems to think that the sound is muted or something. Still, he says if it was an issue, I've been here in this outfit for well over a month now. If it causes any trouble, I gladly change outfits. But until then, this is my personal favorite. Nah, there's no way to change, no reason to change the outfit. It's like I know there are some people who somehow seems to think that sexy is forbidden or something. We saw Marvel Rivals being attacked for that. There are certain, let's say, certain groups or certain people who attacked the Marvel Rivals because they thought the characters were too sexy, especially I think the White Queen. But no, that's fine. Aiden says I don't know. I remember just one person got banned for his tune. Uh, Abisu says I'm making my first male character. Aiden, he would stream YouTube and TikTok, not TikTok didn't ban. Oh, you're playing a Legends version? No, we're playing a Arena version. Unrelated to the game, but do you have an accent? Absolutely. It's from Quebec. It's a French accent from Canada. Davy Jones, Multiverse Shadow said she wants to personally challenge you to 1 versus 1 PvP. Nah, it would be a lose-lose scenario, so that's never gonna happen. And anyway, she did attack me. There's a mission at some point where I was mind controlled, and the evil Shadow Lady attacked me. So you already saw the result of a fight between me and Shadow Lady. We're not grouping up. All we do, Danielle, is go to on duty, go to custom play, and go to PvP. And here we'll try to cure for. Let's see if we can cure for the moon. So no grouping needed. Just get into the game. Cure for the mission. We play on US PlayStation, so obviously you have to play on PlayStation or PC. in order to be able to queue with us. But I strongly encourage, if you guys play on Switch, if you guys play on Xbox, do the same thing on your servers. These events on Wednesday and Sunday could be events across all servers, so that if anyone wants to play PvP on any of those servers, they have at least one time during the week where they can play PvP. Gray Standards, do you think you'll ever do a face reveal? This year we have the 10th anniversary of the Multiverse channel coming up. If I don't do a face reveal then, I'll never do it. So I guess you just have a few weeks, a month, actually roughly a month and a half, 2 months, and you'll know. Danielle, any villains on to take on multi? Doesn't matter. It could be heroes, villains. Everyone can. The matchmaking does the work. So people just all they have to do is cure for the mission, and the matchmaking will take care of the rest. Yellow says 10 years. Well, congrats. Thank you, thank you. When I started this little channel way back when, I have to admit I wouldn't have thought to be still here 10 years later. But here we are. That was quick. Am I the only one here? I guess I am. So I guess I'm the only one who went for the middle node. The other team, of course, they all came here, it seems. Okay, no point going to the center node, I guess. Oh, let's go over here. Evil Stelly, did you see that? She tried to be sneaky, sneaky. It's going to be a close one, I guess. Oh, someone's coming back. Oh no, it's 2 against 1. What am I going to do? Actually, 2 or 3? Oh well. Sorry, I'm a bit focused right now.
Match over.
Great standard. The sound is so good. It's sad that people barely even plays anymore. I guess you meant this game. Yeah. Evil autocorrect, I assume. So let's get out of here. Yellow, your videos helped me a lot when I started playing DCO, and they are still very helpful. I'm glad it's helping you out. Oh, Juicebox says I missed this game. So I assume you're not playing anymore. You could always come back. Let's go for the pit. Raging Provoker, Multi, do you think the game could be shut down in 2030 like people are claiming? The truth is, we don't know. The reason why people are saying that is that when we got the House of Legends, we knew at the time that there was roughly a 10-year plan. Daybreak had roughly a 10-year plan when it came to DC Universe Online, and not just Daybreak, EG7. So at the time, we kind of knew that the game would last until roughly 2030, 2031. So that's why people are saying that. But the truth is, we don't know. The thing is, we don't know. We don't know. Are they going to renew the license or not? Did they renew their license and they didn't tell us? There are things we don't know. But also there are things we don't know. Like right now, there's a lot of changes that are going on at Warner's. So that could also be a factor. Uh, Maybe they'll decide to split Warner's in pieces and sell DC Comics to some other studio. Maybe that studio will decide that they don't want to keep DC Universe Online around, or maybe they'll decide that DC Universe Online is a good game that makes lots of money. Let's keep it around. We don't know. So there's a lot of things outside of the games that we have no control about that might happen that would influence the game. But based on what we know, yeah, they could pull the plug in 2030. Especially seeing, we can kind of sort of see the pattern where they're trying to minimize the production cost. They're trying to make production as easy as possible. They're reusing a lot of assets. They're creating smaller content, and they're adding reused content so that they can give the illusion that the content is a bit bigger. We don't have new powers, but we have new powers, new iconic powers that comes with events, or in the case of the latest powers that came with a time capsule. So they're working very hard to make it, let's say, easier to produce the game, cheaper to produce the game, but at the same time they're increasing the monetization. So it could be. There's some people who've been saying that DC Universe Online have been trying to milk out the player base before they shut down the game. But some people have been saying that for 10 years. So it's kind of hard it's kind of hard to believe that. But right now, with what we know, yeah, we do know that their game plan goes to 2030. We can see that they're trying to make it so that it's easier or cheaper to produce the content. We can see that they're trying to maximize the monetization. So yeah, from all indications we have, yes, it could be easy to think that they're trying to make as much money as they can before 2030, before they pull the plug. But the truth is, we don't know. In 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, they could decide to renew their license and keep the game going for another 10 years. We don't know. Also, there's AI we have to consider. From what we understand, there's a lot of studios that are looking to AI. So who knows? Maybe DCO could start using AI to make the production easier for them, and at the same time make even more money. So if they can manage to make content using AI and still make money off the game, maybe they could think that it's profitable enough to keep it going. We don't know. But also, it's not just a matter of making money. Like we had a game called not Champ, City of Heroes way back when. That way back when City of Heroes, they were making money. They had a good, strong player base. They had a lot of fans, a lot of hardcore fans, and they still pulled the plug. Like even though the game was making money, even though there was a fan base, they still pulled the plug of the game. So you never know. But yeah, it would be easy to think that they're trying to maximize the money they're making, and then they're pushing that money into some other IP that they own. So it could be easy to think that they're trying to switch to another IP that they own as opposed to working on DC Universe Online. But at this point, there's too many rumors and not enough actual information that we have, so it's hard to tell for sure. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they do pull the plug in 2030. But it wouldn't surprise me either if they actually renew the license and keep going further. The truth is, at this point, we don't really know, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. Do you think this game would be less money hungry if it got a random boost in popularity? No, it has nothing to do with that. You may have noticed they're pretty much using mobile strategies. EG7, when they acquired DCUO, EG7 were already involved in mobile games. So they've been trying to bring some of the monetizations from mobile games into DCUO, and it seems that with the new devs, they've even increased that a notch. So I don't think it's not a matter of whether the game is popular or not. They're being more and more aggressive in monetizing the game, and it's been like that. It's been like that pretty much since the House of Legends. When we had the House of Legends, when they first gave us the allies, you had to purchase the allies. Some of you guys may not know this, but way back when, you had to purchase the allies for every single characters you wanted to use the allies with. So if you wanted to use, let's say, Flashpoint Batman with three characters, well, you had to purchase Flashpoint Batman for all three characters, which meant $25 each right off the bat. And also, you had to purchase Legendary Alliances from the marketplace. So that was another roughly $50. So basically, each ally would cost you at the very least $75. Of course, people revolted because that was there's no way people were going to pay that, and they had to backtrack and change that because people were not spending money. So they've been trying to be more aggressive in monetizing the game for quite some time, pretty much since the House of Legends. But it's only for the past year that we've really been seeing them really being more aggressive now. It's as if now they don't care if the player base are happy or not. They will increase the monetization. Doesn't matter what the player are saying. So no, I don't. They wouldn't be less money hungry. They would just be making more money. Raging Provoker, it would be very stupid of them to shut it down considering I did the math and currently the game is 52% of the revenue compared to their other IPs. On a year, they make over 5 million. Yeah, but there's a few things behind that. The first thing is they don't own the IP. So let's say they were to make a DC Universe Online movie tomorrow. They don't make a sense out of that. That all goes to DC and Warner. As opposed to with EverQuest, if they were to make an EverQuest movie tomorrow, they get all the cash. They don't have to share it with anyone else's. Also, seeing how this is a license, they have to pay a license to DC. And we don't know how much they're paying to DC. Is the license expensive? Is the license cheap? Is it a flat fee that they have to pay, or do they have to pay a percentage of whatever money they make? We don't know. So sadly, if they make since how this is a license, if they have to pay a license fee to DC and a pretty big license fee to DC, it may seem like it's more profitable for them to just continue with EverQuest. So the truth is we don't know. We don't have all the numbers. The devs do, so they're the ones who knows. They're the one who knows, and sadly, they're the ones who will make that decision. We'll decide if it's profitable enough or not. At the end of the day, sadly, all we can do is decide if we want to support the game or not, and we decide if we spend our money on DC Universe Online or not. Sorry guys, I'm a bit focused right now. There's some evil villains that are attacking me from behind. Can you believe that? Evil sniper sniping from afar. Did you see that? No. Not close enough. So anyway, so for DCO, sadly they don't own the license. So when they make movies about the DC characters, DC Universe Online doesn't get a single penny out of that. As opposed to if they were to make a movie out of EverQuest characters, then DC Universe then Daybreak, EG7 would get all the money from that. Oh, Danielle, we're talking about you sniping. We're not talking about me here. But so we can see that they're probably trying to refocus, and they're probably trying to use more the IPs they own as opposed to the IP they rent. It kind of makes sense. Like imagine if you have two houses. Imagine there's one house that you're renting and one house that you own, and then you need to invest money to make a renovation on your house. Are you going to spend money on the house you rent to renovate that house, or are you going to spend money on the house you own to renovate that house? Doesn't matter if you're getting rent from the house you're renting. Like it doesn't matter if you're making money renting the house, let's say to someone else. If you're renting that house, you have no real incentives to put money to that house. You'll put it into the house that you own. So, but at the end of the day, it's always a matter of how much are they spending for the DC license and whether they think it's worth it or not. Aiden Warren, Danielle PvP gear for PvP stats. Also Legend has the same PvP gear, but just for the styles. Oh, someone was asking about the gear. Yeah, so for those wondering, you don't really need PvP gear to play the game. Like when you play PvP, the game gives you the stats as if you were playing using the 96 PvP gear to begin with. But of course, it's better to have the 101 PvP gear than to have the 96 PvP gear. So you will try to work your way towards the PvP gear. Let's see if we can play Australia. If we have enough people for Australia. So if you want the PvP gear, you have no choice. You have to play the PvP matches and then purchase the gear from the vendors in the House of Legends, in the Watchtower, or in the Hall of Doom. There is the PvP styles though. Like if for some reason you don't want to play PvP, that's fine. You can purchase the style from our friend Lady Shiva over here. Except there's two styles that you have to buy from Doctor Fate, the Nightwing style and the Hush style, if I recall correctly. I might be too ambitious, so let's see. I'll let you guys decide. We will cure also for what's the other 5v5? Sorry about that. Let's go also for the Watchtower. So Watchtower or Australia, the choice is yours. David is saying I got a speed thread 4 times yesterday. Uh, okay, I'm not sure you got. Did you buy it from at this? Oh, you mean the speed, the flash boots? Then that was good. That was quite lucky because I think the odds of getting it is like 5%. So, congrats, I guess. Gray Standard, is there only the new Genesis pant style for underwear on the outside, or is there other options? No, there's other options. There's the if we're going to styles, come on. There is the Astro Slimline. We don't really see it here because of the belt. So there is the Astro Slimline that would do the trick. And there's even also the Absolute Dark Knight. The shorts are a bit longer than the Slimline or the new Genesis, but these are pretty much the options you have. There's also the Black Canary leggings that you could use. With some materials, you can sort of fake out having like something like the new Genesis pants. So we'll go to 5v5. Hey David, what do you think of DCO in 2025? I have a video about coming up about that. I was going to make a video about the devs first, but we don't know enough about the devs right now. So a lot of my if I was to make a video about the devs right now, a lot of that would be guesswork, guesstimations. It wouldn't really be based on facts, or it would be based on what we know from the devs from when they were working on Star Trek Online. So it wouldn't really be about the plans they seem to have for this universe online. So I was waiting to make a video about the devs first, but I think I'll just mention that in my 2025 video, quick. But in a nutshell, they seem to be trying to find ways to be able to produce the game at a cheaper cost, to make it more cost effective or easier to produce the game by either reusing more assets or creating events. But we've been seeing that last year also. They've been trying to create basically new events where they don't need to create any new real assets. Like for Batman Day last year, they created one new Batman call, and that was it. The rest of it was just older missions that they've reused. The same for Wonder Woman Day. The same for they created the Outsiders event with nothing but reused. All they had to do was give us like 10 feats or something like that, and that's all they needed to create for that event. So they've been trying to streamline the production process quite a lot, so that it's easier to produce or less more cost effective to produce. But it seems to be working somewhat. Like obviously, people are a bit upset whenever we get a raid that is made up of completely of reused assets. That is quite obvious. But the real issue is more with some of the weekly missions that have issues that have glitches or some of the bugs. Like at some point there was I think it was a monster was bugged in one of the missions. Yeah, Sinestro was bugged into one of the alert, I think, or the raid, I forget. So there was quite a few issues that people were not too happy about. Visually, they did a good job with the visual. We have to give them that. Like the new maps are looking great, and even like the new Hellblazer aura that they gave us looks really good. The new some of the new effects, like the new iconics, have very good visual effects. So on that front, they've been doing good, I think. But for the content, like they seem to really want to give us escort missions. People don't like escort missions. You might have noticed in DCO at some point they stopped giving us escort missions because people don't like that. And it's not just in DCO. In other games, people don't like overall. people don't like escort missions. I don't know why. Well, I can understand why the devs like him so much. The devs are trying to increase playtime, and one way to increase playtime is to give us missions that waste a lot of our time, like escort missions. With escort missions, there's no miracle. You have to escort the let's say the NPCs from point A to point B, and you cannot speed up the process very much. Like players are always looking for missions where they can take shortcuts, and if they can find a way to play the missions at like 3.5 seconds, they'll do it. With escort missions, it's kind of hard to find shortcuts because no matter what you do, you have to get the NPCs from point A to point B, and you cannot go faster than the NPCs are going. They did speed up the escort a little bit in the Day of Reckoning DLC. With the escort mission, they did speed up the NPCs at least a bit, so that was appreciated. But still, at the end of the day, you have to escort the NPCs from point A to point B. There's no miracle about that. So here you have the score. Dang, but juice butter. He's a mean one, I guess. So for 2025, in a nutshell, they seem to be trying to find ways to streamline the process so that they can have us content that don't require too much work on their part, and they seem to try to find ways to keep us busy, just reusing old assets. Uh, is it working? Maybe, maybe not. I don't have the numbers, sadly. And of course, they've been much more aggressive in trying to monetize the content. Again, is it working? We'll see. Normally, when something is working, they keep on doing it. When something is not working, they change it. So, like for example, time capsules. People have been complaining about time capsules for like 10 years now, and they keep on creating and coming up with new time capsules. Why? Because people keep on buying them. So when something works, like the time capsule, they keep on doing it. When something doesn't work, they stop doing it. Like for example, Legends PvP. They stopped giving us new legend characters because people were not buying the legends. Now there are some things where we have mixed feelings or mixed messages. Like for example, the allies. Uh, they don't give us a lot of allies. Is it because people are not buying allies? They're not making as much money from allies as they were hoping for? Is it because allies end up being a lot of work? Is there some other faction, some other factors we're not aware of? Could it be that they just allies are very, let's say, expensive to rank up? So is it that if they give us too many allies, people will not rank them up because they just can't do it? So they have to wait before giving us new allies. The same with the artifacts. Like for the artifacts, at some point they were giving us. Imagine way back when they were giving us like 3 new artifacts every DLCs, and now we're lucky if we get one artifact. So let's go for Arkham Asylum. So Danielle says, I attacked you face to face, lol. I don't know, that's not what I recall. And anyway, we're talking about you. About me being attacked unfairly. Even if it was face to face, I'm sure it was unfair. Aiden, if so, to grind for PvP gear, stats legend is your best way. Unreal, you have a friend to let you win in the arenas. Now we're talking about cheating and having someone trade wins with you. I wouldn't recommend that. It's pretty much it's against the official agreement with the game. But also at some point they added some system to check if people were cheating. And if you have a situation where you have people trading matches like that, there's supposed to be some penalty involved nowadays. Either you're not going to get the currency for the match, or it could go as far as getting banned. So I wouldn't do it. So Danielle says I was sniping from afar. Low, so were you. Again, we're talking about you, Danielle. What I do doesn't matter. It's what you do that's important. Feasty Brown, people who say this is going to close down is very, very miserable. If they're unhappy with the game, why they still on it? Yeah, I agree. There are people who let's say, are very unhappy with the game, and they holy crap, we have someone who has found a way to get their artifacts to work. For those who do not know, artifacts are not supposed to work in PV in oh, but I guess she got it to work before entering the match, so this is probably the leftover from before she entered the match.
Lobotomy lab control.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. If we see the artifact trigger once more.
Central guard post node.
For those who do not know, artifacts do not work in PvP, or they're not supposed to work in PvP. Could be that some people did find some glitch to get the artifacts to work, but sadly that wouldn't surprise me. But the artifacts are not supposed to work. So we'll see. So our friend Starfire, our artifact did work because she wasn't in the match just yet. But if she does if the artifact does the trigger once she's in the match, then we'll have to be a bit concerned.
Mr. Freeze release enabled. The Joker release enabled.
So you just saw the power of flight versus wrong way. Let's activate this first, and let's capture the node. So see, there's some sneaky sneaker who had captured the node here. So let's capture it back, and here we'll have the evil. I'll call it a frost giant. I'm sure he has a name. It just doesn't come to mind right now. I could have sworn there was another trigger. That was mentioned. That doesn't matter. Retreat! Cobra Commander's evil cousin. There's still someone on. There it is. Like normally this little guy should be on my side, but he doesn't seem to be. I'm so sad now. I'm sure I mentioned this
The
before.
Joker
Very
release
often when I would
enabled.
fight Iron Man, he would do this to me. Basically, when you're sniping someone,
The
you try to keep them
Scarecrow
grounded so that
release
they cannot attack
enabled.
you. I was able to do that for a bit for Superman, but as you saw, eventually he was able to get to me. But if oh, but if you keep on damaging him and grounding him, you can snipe him from a distance and not have to worry about anything. So I could stay in the air, keep our friend Superman grounded. And the worst part of that is that even if you know what the other guy is doing, even if you know the strategy, it's very hard to, like you saw our friend Superman did struggle. The same way I'm sure you saw me in many videos when I would try to reach the evil Iron Man who was sniping from the air. It was very difficult because he kept on casting either abilities that would ground me or abilities that would stun me, or he was juggling me. So trying to reach him, even though technically you should be able to lunge at him or to use a super attack and go to him. Even if you know what he's doing, even if you know the strategy, it's very hard to counter. So for Feisty Brown, people who say this is going to close down is very miserable. Well, there are some people who really hate DCO. You have to wonder, maybe the devs did something nasty to them. Maybe the devs did ban them. We don't know. But there are people who they don't want to move on. They want to hate and hate and hate, and they want the game to shut down. Like you would think, if you don't like the game, you move on and you move on to something else. But they don't. They don't just want to move on. They want the game to shut down. And so yes, they seem very miserable indeed. Danielle says I prefer PvP gear because PvP is the most balanced version of PvP. Sure, if you enjoy that. Ideally you want to have the latest PvP gear. You want to have the top PvP gear. It does make quite a difference. I remember way back when we had the first season of PvP. When I was wearing the cash gear, like the first day when everyone was wearing the cash gear, it was very let's say very easy. Like very quickly, you could play 5 matches per day, and then afterwards you had to use replay badges if you wanted to play more matches. Personally, I didn't do that, so I played my 5 matches, got my wins very quickly. I then forgot about it, and then later on that day, I tried to show to people, to some of my friends, look, guys, now we have everyone has cash gear in PvP. PvP is much more fair and balanced. And then when they tried to play PvP, when we tried to play PvP, we were facing teams in full vengeance gear. Because sadly, that first day, some people what they did is that they used replay badges and they grinded and grinded to get the full vengeance gear on day one. Also, they would sync their gear and they would trade wins and losses in order to be able to do that. So, from what I understand, it would take roughly 3 hours to be able to get the. If you did that, if you traded wins and losses, it would take roughly 3 hours to be able to get the full vengeance gear. And even if you didn't do that, you could get the full vengeance gear in somewhere between 3 and 6 hours. How many replay badges did you need to do that? Honestly, I have no idea. But I didn't do that, and then I tried to convince my friends to. My friends didn't like PvP very much. They were not very good PvP players to begin with, and then of course it was frustrating to fight people with full end game PvP gear when you barely had a few pieces yourself. But then with the cash gear, with everyone being equal, I thought my friend would be able to come back to PvP. But then when we ended up fighting matches after matches after matches against people in full vengeance gear, my friends left and never came back. Spartan says, I was watching your glowing chroma video. Well, thank you for watching. Send me what your accent. It's amazing. It's from. Uh, I'm French Canadian. It's from Quebec, Canada. Although even it's pretty much a singular accent. Over here, people don't really talk like me. I'm pretty much the only one who talks this way. But thank you for thinking it's amazing. Gray standards. Is there any Deathstroke masks? Yes and no. If you're talking about a classic Deathstroke mask, not really. I'll show you the two masks we have, and then we'll cure for the next match. Let's remove the material. And let's put the 3 colors. There we go. So the two styles we have is the Mercenary's Malice and Master Mercenary or something like that. So here we have the Master Mercenary. This is pretty much the new 52 Deathstroke mask. So there's this mask. Evil menu freezing on me. And there's the Mercenary's Malice. Technically, the Mercenary's Malice is the classic Deathstroke mask with a gas mask added to it, as you can see. Let me tweak the colors a bit. Oh, wrong. There we go. So this is pretty much a classic Deathstroke mask with a gas mask. People have been asking for a long time to get this mask without the gas mask. It didn't happen just yet. Will we ever get it someday? The truth is, we don't know. I guess let's be brave. Let's see if we can play Australia. If not, we'll go back to 5v5. So let's try Australia 8 versus 8. Aiden Warren is helping friends for feats in PvP that developers patched the sinkers. I don't know about that. I'll have to experiment with it. But way back when, people were saying that no, it's impossible. You cannot sync the curves, and I did a video where I did that in like 3.5 seconds. So once upon a time, it was possible. Is it still possible? I have no idea. I didn't try it out in a long time. So I guess I'll have to try it out and see. But for a long time, you could sync the curves. As for giving wins to your friends, it's again the official agreement. So yes, in theory you can do it, but you're not supposed to, and you could get banned for that. Would they ban you if you're just doing it to help your friend? Could be. Sir Gowan, people need to quit complaining about the stupid things. Just play the game, show some DLCs and recycled instance. I still like the game. The game is like nothing out there. Okay, there's no combat system like DC Universe Online. There's no way to be able to create your characters the way we can. Like in DC Universe Online, we can literally create any characters we want. So there's no other games that really offers that. Also in DC Universe Online, you can fly, you can have super speed. You can play with your friend Superman, or you can be Superman. So no other games offers that. So this Universe Online offers a unique experience that no one else offers. So yes, is the game perfect? Absolutely not. But there's no other games like DCUO. So if you're looking for what DCUO offers, you're not going to find it anywhere else. Still more 5v5s or 8 versus 8. I thought we could be brave and try 8 versus 8. But I guess we're going to have to play more 5 versus 5. The problem is that we only have 5 versus 5. So it's... let's see. Let's go for all the 5 versus 5. And let's go for Australia. And let us see what happens. Danielle, I think the replays were cheap at first. I think you could buy a pack. there were reverse sales and also either reverse packs you could purchase at some point. But I have to admit, it's been a long time. But it's always been somewhat more or less the same price we have now. But I think we used to have either more sales or we could buy a pack of like 1,000 for cheaper. But I could be misremembering, so I take that with a grain of salt. Aiden is saying PvP gear is obsolete. Powers now, after all the changes for over, can one shot people in PvP gear. If you're talking about in the open world, yes, but in arena PvP still PvP gear is still useful. Daniel says a multi sounds like a Canadian Valley girl. Never met one of those, so I couldn't tell you. Gray standards. How can I get the mercenary malice mask? You can get it from now. You could get it from the Hall of Doom way back when, from one of the vendors in the Hall of Doom. I'm not sure if Lady Shiva
Those of
has
us
it.
in the League who value the art of combat, thank you.
There it is. You can get it from Lady Shiva over here. So it's going to cost you 100 source marks for each pieces of the style. Oh, I went too far. So it's going to cost you 100 source marks for each pieces of the style. But you can purchase it here. If people don't want to play PvP, they have the option to purchase the styles. I guess the devs gave us that option when they gave us a House of Legends because I think it was pretty clear at that point that they were not going to give us any more PvP content. But at least they gave us access to the PvP styles. Aiden PvP gear health is about 15k compared to how damage powers can do now. Well, not just that. In the open world, in the open world, the PvE gear much more powerful than PvP gear. Just for if we take for example as a troll, if I go to my like you can see the health of my troll right now. And you can see the health of my troll right now. There's no comparison. Like the PvP gear is has been obsolete for a long time, but the PvE gear does not work in PvP. So for PvP matches, you have no choice. You have to use your PvP gear. Well, you have a choice. If you don't have PvP gear, you'll have the stats of a 96 PvP gear. Hi, David Sharp says, hi everyone, here to watch the stream while I eat lunch. Enjoy your lunch. Aiden, PvP is glass and powers are the canyon. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Spartan Lions, your glowing chroma video made me start the unlikely search for the pack. Well, the glowing chroma material does come back from time to time when we have a resurgence mega capsule. Uh, it used to be we used to get it every time we had a research mega capsule. They made some changes, so now we only get a few of the rewards from the previous research mega capsule. So you're gonna have to hope and wait for the material maybe to be back to be added to the research mega capsule once more, or you're gonna have to look on a broker and hope to get very very lucky. Danielle says, I say cap PvP servers to PvP arena stats and gear. You don't have to. The PvE gear doesn't work in PvP. If you queue for a PvP match, your PvP gear is disabled. The same with your artifacts, your allies, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So the only thing that works in PvP matches is your PvP gear. That's why it's a good idea to get the best PvP gear for those matches. But you can still play those matches even if you don't have the top PvP gear. Gray is asking what's the best way to get more source marks. You have to just grind the content. There's no really best way. There are some missions that are a bit quicker that you could grind and grind and grind. Like sometimes you'll see some people that will create. Well, let's see if we have a group right now. Like sometimes if you looking for groups, you'll have people who say that they're doing a source mark run. So join one of those groups, and basically what you'll do is that you'll select one mission, play that mission over and over and over again. Usually they pick a mission that you can play very quickly, so that you can pile up source marks very quickly. Way back when it used to be one of the Fortress of Solitude mission. Sadly, the devs decided to do something against that, and they lowered the amount of marks you would get for the mission. So basically, people moved on to another mission. So that's pretty much the best way to get source marks is join one of those groups where you will farm and farm and farm missions over and over again. How does everyone feel about DCUO picking up Marvel actors? DCU picking up Marvel actors. Actors are actors. They're going to go wherever the work is. Sadly, there's no actors that are exclusive to Marvel or exclusive to DC's. Now, it could happen that could happen that Robert Downey Jr. in his contract when playing Iron Man, it could be there's a clause where it says you're not allowed to go play Batman. I don't know the details of his contract, but overall, actors will go where they can go. That's why you see there's this guy who played. There's a guy who played in The Dark Knight. He played also in Ant-Man, and then in the Suicide Squad, he played what's his name? The guy with the colored bubbles. So there are actors who go back and forth, like Frank Grillo, who played Crossbones in Captain America, is going to play Rick Flag in the DCU. So it happens all the time. And sometimes in movies, you'll have some fun team ups. Like you'll watch a movie and then you'll realize that, holy crap, we're watching Captain America and Red Skull teaming up together. Not a real example, but you get what I'm saying. But actors, unless it's specified in the contract that they cannot work for another studio for a while, they're going to go where the job is. And of course, James Gunn is notorious for using his friends and his family in his movies. So of course, he's going to try to use his friends from the Guardian of the Galaxy. We already know that he's planning to use Chris Pratt. He's planning to use Batista. He's planning to use he's planning to use the whole bunch. Already he's using his brother to be Maxwell Lord. Who else is he using? Of course, he's using his wife. So PvP server open world. For the open world, they can't really do that because open world are pretty much a PvP and PvE. Have PvP and PvE content. So there's probably some bosses that will crush you with your PvP gear. Gray says, look for players shouting out for source mark spam in chat. Yeah, that's pretty much the best option. Danielle, you're absolutely right. Astronomical, which vendor has the best clothing option in your opinion? Uh, I don't know. I would say there was one specific vendor, but also you have access to all those vendors, so it doesn't really matter at the end. Danielle says they can do that, they choose not to. Well, you have PVE content in the open world, so you cannot block people from using the PVE gear. Like they've blocked the PVE gear in arena, They've also blocked. You cannot use orbital strikes. You cannot use sidekicks anymore. You cannot use henchmen. You cannot use allies. Artifacts do not work. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that they got rid that they eliminated from PvP in arena, but in the open world they cannot do that. Well, they could, but there's PvE content in the open world, so they really shouldn't do that. Well, it depends which PvE open worlds you mean. Do you mean just Gotham and Metropolis? Because there's Kaznia is a PvE open world. Mogo is a PvE open world. Like I wouldn't recommend that people go fight, let's say, a Gentleman Ghost in PvP gear. I don't think it would work. Well, I'm trying to think the bosses we have in Metro and Gotham. Could we play those just using PvP gear? Because you have to remember that there's quite a gap between PvP and PvE gear. PvP gear is like 1/10 of the PvE gear right now. If we look, let's say, just at the like the top PvP gear is a 101, and in PvE right now, like I'm at 476. I'm not even at the max. Oh, I'm at 41, and I'm not even at the max just yet. So I think the top is 45. So there's quite a step between the two. Daniel says we killed the WBs in PvP gear back in the day. WBs. Uh, Remind me what WB is. When our CR skips, normally we get the CR skip in January. So that's usually when that happens. Sometimes we get one also in Halloween, but there's no guarantee for that one. World boss, okay. Yeah, but also back in the day, because we had quite a few revamps since then. We had the stat revamp, we had the weapon mastery. So if you were killing world bosses when we just got the weapon mastery was quite powerful at some point. When we had the awesome mechanic, that's another thing. Also, way back when we had the awesome mechanic. So yes, fighting world bosses at the time wasn't that hard, but things have changed over time, sadly. Normal says I want to make a swap to PS servers. It's so bad. Xbox is so dead. Yeah, sorry about that. You're going to have to no choice. You're gonna have to play the you're gonna have to play like a solo warrior if you have no one else to play with. Danielle, but I like challenge in the game I play. I know some prefer to be God mode. It's not just being God mode. There's a challenge. There's only so many times you can fight. I don't know. There's only so many times you can fight Bizarro and struggle. After the thousandth time, you don't want to struggle anymore against Bizarro. You want to beat his butt and move on to something else. So yes, it's nice because we remember when we first started, Bizarro was quite a struggle to fight. You had to basically overgear Bizarro to be able to fight him solo, or you had to get a group. And once you were able to overgear Bizarro, then you would move on to something else. So always coming back to Bizarro, let's say, and get it your butt cake, not really fun. At some point, you have to be able to overgear the bosses. Wait, how many arts can you hold now? It's not three anymore. No, you can have five artifacts. Like here, you can see I have only the three. Let me switch back. So now you can have five artifacts with your character. So that means you're gonna have to upgrade a lot more artifacts, especially if you have a lot of characters. Danielle says, point is PvP server is dead. It has nothing to do with the gear. May as well make it useful by capping it to PvP stats. The reason why the PvP server is dead is because they removed the option to create a character straight in PvP. So now people have to create a character in the PvE open world, and a lot of people never switch to PvP after that. So that is pretty much what killed the PvP open world. So it doesn't matter if the stats are capped or not. There's like three people who play in the PvP open world at any given time. So do they really want to put a lot of work for three people? I don't think so. Chaos Edge, this is the first time I've been on a live stream of Multiverse. Didn't think that would ever happen, but here we are. Well, welcome to Multiverse. David Sharp, any particular theme for this week's Live at 5? No, not for this week. This week we'll just play whatever content we have, like the latest content from Fearful Day. Maybe we'll go back and play some of the content from Day of Reckoning. Well, we'll see what happens. Unless yeah, this Friday will be the 21st. So yeah, we'll do that. And next week it will be Evil Friday. So yeah, I didn't think of anything special for this week. Normal, click on the inventory. I'm not sure why you want to look at my inventory, but there you go. Gray Standards, what style would you put together to make the Batman that looks like DCUO Batman? Uh, I have quite a few Batman videos. If you look through my Batman videos, you should be able to get that answer. But in a nutshell, what would I use? I would use the Dark Knight Call. I will use the Batman cape, the Batwoman cape, or the Knight of Vengeance cape. The fin, the slimline gloves, the simple utility belt, the New Genesis pants, the Allman boots, and for the chest piece, pretty much the Stalwart Defender with one of the Batman emblems we have, or the new Absolute Batman chest piece. And Nemesis, yeah, you can use up to 5 artifacts now. Normal, how do you have so many arts in? They've increased the amount of artifacts you can have, so that is how. Danielle says grouping in an MMO, the horror. Absolutely, you have to be able to do everything solo now. The problem, Danielle, is that for some servers, it's the only option. On Switch, on Xbox, they don't have a lot of players, sadly, so they have to be able to play the content solo. Way back when, before they merged the PC and PlayStation, on PC, on the evil villain side, sometimes there would be like three of us on the whole server, three villains. At the time, we would joke that we could split the Hall of Doom between the three of us. Like we could take each one wing, and that would be our personal lair. So that is how few villains we had at the time on PC. So, but luckily at some point they merged the PC and PlayStation together, and that kind of solved that issue. But for some servers, it's not an option. So sadly for Switch, for Xbox, they have to be able to play solo. Otherwise, there's some content that they just cannot play. Normally, Zatsking was the DPS meta right now. Kind of hard to tell. I didn't experiment all that much with the fire artifacts, so I won't even pretend to know right now. Normal is art swapping dead now. Actually, yes, art swapping is gone. You cannot swap artifacts anymore in combat. As PvP go back to 2015, it wouldn't really matter. Danielle says, to be frank, PC merge also killed PS servers. With the highly imbalance of PCers that use macros and exploits, yeah, I suppose it did hurt a bit. But what really did hurt was the clamp. There's no other way to say it. The clamp. When we got the clamp, there's roughly 30% of the player base that disappeared within 1 week. Now it did happen before, like way back when it would happen that people would leave, that people would go and take a break, but when the clamp was added, pretty much overnight we saw 30% of the player base disappear. So that was big. Chaos Edge, I've heard and seen PvP use the toxic back in the day. If they're gonna bring back PvP, they gotta make some rules. They can't. You can't really make rules about that. If people want to be toxic, if you end up just banning people, what's the point? Danielle says the clamp is the only reason I still have fun in DCO. I'm glad that you like it, but again, we have 30% of the player base who disliked it enough to leave and never come back. So I wish the devs. I hope the devs. I don't know. Thought it was worth it because we lost a lot of people when that happened. TNC, I say remove clamps in private queues and open worlds. Um, they we don't have the clamp in the casual modes, so at least I think we don't have it. So if you were to play, let's say casual, pretty sure we don't have the clamp in those. But I could be wrong. I didn't try them all. I tried just a few, and we did not seem to have the clamp. But I'm gonna have to experiment a lot more with that before I can say for certain. Gray standards at this point, I'm just playing the game for styles. Yeah, there's quite a few do that. So I guess, guys, this is going to be it for tonight. It would seem. Let me think. Yeah, next for Friday for live at 5. Yeah, all we'll really do is that we will play the latest content. So we'll start with playing some of the Fearful Day content. We'll probably play the bosses for people who need them. Then we'll probably go play the Day of Reckoning. And heck, depending on how things go, we might go and play the Harley Quinn content. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. So next, we'll play live at 5, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's pretty much it for now, guys. So, guys, thanks to everyone who came to play with us. Thanks to everyone who came to chat with us. And of course, thanks to all of you guys watching. We'll see you guys Friday for live at 5. Have a good day, guys.